Good morning and Jai Hind children. I welcome you all in today's live class of biology. Children, we are discussing the chapter respiration. Is it? And in previous class, I have explained you about the mechanism of breathing in lungs and the amount of carbon dioxide which is present in inhaled air and exhaled air. Is it? And now today I'm going to discuss the cellular respiration. Children, as you know that the process of respiration in human beings completes in two parts. Okay? And the first part is breathing and second part is cellular respiration. So we already have discussed about the breathing and now today I'm going to discuss about the cellular respiration. Children, the blood which takes the oxygen to all the cells of our body, this blood has a substance which is called hemoglobin. Is it? And this hemoglobin binds itself with oxygen to form oxyhemoglobin. Okay, so we can say that when hemoglobin combines with oxygen, it forms oxyhemoglobin. Alright, children? So, it is in this form that oxygen is carried through the blood. Okay, oxygen not carried through the blood in form of oxygen. It carried through oxyhemoglobin. Get it? And the cellular respiration occurs in the cells of our body. So, during cellular respiration, the sugar molecules in food are oxidized to form carbon dioxide and water, and energy is given out. Get it, children? So, you can define the term cellular respiration. How? Yes, the cellular respiration is the breakdown of sugar molecules in food, and it get breaks in presence of oxygen. So you can also say that the sugar molecules oxidized. All right, and after oxidation of sugar molecules, what we obtain? We obtain carbon dioxide, water, and energy. Get it? And the reaction of this cellular respiration can be written as C6H12O6. This is sugar molecule, or simply say that glucose. Get it, children? Now, when this glucose or sugar molecules combined with oxygen are oxidized, so it forms CO2, that is carbon dioxide. And water. And also the energy is given out. Get it, children? So this one is the chemical reaction which involved in the process of cellular respiration. Okay, now this equation is not balanced and you can balance it as, so you can say that the one molecule of glucose gets reacts with 6 molecules of oxygen and forms 6 molecules of carbon dioxide, 6 molecules of water and energy. Get it, children? Now, this is similar to the chemical reaction that occurs during burning or combustion. Get it? So, you can say that the process of cellular respiration is the same as the process of burning or combustion. But these two processes differ from each other. The reaction involved is the same, but the processes are different. Get it? The carbon dioxide is transported back to the lungs through the blood. Okay, the six molecules of carbon dioxide which are formed here, they again move back through the blood and goes to the lungs, and from the lungs it gets exhaled. Get it, children? So this is the process that going on always. We inhaled oxygen that get combined with hemoglobin, forms oxyhemoglobin, and comes to the cells of our body, and here it reacts with glucose and forms carbon dioxide, water, and energy. And again this carbon dioxide get moved with the blood and goes to the lungs and gets exhaled from the body. Get it? Now, children, as I told that this reaction is same as the burning or combustion. Okay, but there is certain differences. So I'm going to explain you the differences between combustion and cellular respiration. Get it, children? Differences between combustion and cellular respiration. Now, children, we will differentiate these two, combustion and cellular respiration, on the basis of certain parameters. Get it? And the first parameter I'm going to take is the rate of these two processes. So the combustion is a fast process. Get it, children? Combustion is a fast process, whereas cellular respiration is a slow process. So this one is the first difference between these two processes, combustion and cellular respiration. On the basis of the rate of these reactions, the combustion is a fast process, whereas cellular respiration is a slow process. Alright, children? Now the second parameter that I'm going to take is temperature. If we compare both of them on the basis of the temperature, then the process of combustion, it occurs at high temperature, whereas the cellular respiration occurs at body temperature. Get it, children? So this is the second difference between combustion and cellular respiration. It occurs at high temperature. Alright, and this occurs at body temperature. So this one is the second difference. Now the third difference, I'm going to take the parameter is place. Okay, on the basis of the place, how they both are different. And the process of combustion, it can occurs anywhere. Get it, children? It can occur any place. But the cellular respiration, it occurs only in living cells. It cannot occurs in non-living organism or non-living things. Get it? So the what is the place of combustion? Yes, occurs anywhere. And the process of cellular respiration, it occurs only in living cells. Get it, children? Now, the fourth difference. And for fourth difference, I'm going to take the parameter energy. Get it? So on the basis of energy produced in combustion process, it released in a single step and in the form of heat and light. Get it? In process of combustion, the energy released in which form? In form of heat and light. Whereas in cellular respiration, the energy released in steps, not in single steps, in many steps, and stored in chemical molecules. And the name of these chemical molecules are ATP. Got it, children? So here, energy released in single step. Okay, and in cellular respiration, energy released in steps. Get it? And here this energy is released in form of heat and light. And here the energy released in chemical molecules. And these chemical molecules are called ATP. Alright, children. So these are certain differences between these two processes, combustion process and cellular respiration process. As the reactions takes place the same, but they have the difference as the combustion takes place, yes, in a fast rate, and this cellular respiration in slow rate. Combustion process occurs at high temperature, whereas this cellular respiration occurs only at body temperature. Cellular respiration, sorry, the combustion process can occur anywhere. Okay, whereas the cellular respiration process occurs only in living cells. And in combustion process, the energy is released in a single step, and this energy is released in the form of heat and light. So we can say that heat energy and light energy, these are produced in combustion process, whereas in cellular respiration process the energy is released in steps, means more than one step, and these energy are stored in chemical molecules, not as a heat or light energy, chemical molecules, and the name of these chemical molecules are ATP. Get it, children? Understood? So, I hope that you understood the differences between these two processes. Get it? Now, children, there are certain facts given regarding the process of respiration, okay, that you must have to know. As we have discussed about the pharynx. It is present in, yes, the windpipe. So the pharynx actually has two apertures. That one opening into the windpipe and the other into the esophagus, that is food pipe. Okay, so in the neck, the pharynx is present, and this pharynx have two openings. The one open in windpipe and second one in esophagus. Get it, children? And the aperture opening into the windpipe is guarded by a flap-like structure, and this flap-like structure is termed as epiglottis. What it is termed as, children? It is termed as epiglottis. Get it? So this epiglottis closes the windpipe when you swallow the food, so that the food particles do not enter in windpipe. Get it? And if the food or water ever enters the windpipe, we cough it out. And this is the body method of removing the food or water from it. Get it, children? So you must have to remember that the pharynx have how many openings or apertures? It have two openings. One opens in windpipe and second opens in esophagus or food pipe. Okay, and this windpipe have a flap-like structure on it. Okay, and this flap-like structure present on the windpipe at pharynx is known as epiglottis. Get it? And this epiglottis, the function of this epiglottis is the, yes, it closes the windpipe. At which time? At the time when we swallow food, so that the food particles do not enter in windpipe. It moves only through the food pipe. And if sometimes the food or water ever enters the windpipe, then what happened? We cough it out. And this coughing out is the body's method of removing the food or water from windpipe. Get it, children? So this you must have to remember about the function of epiglottis. Get it? Children, now I'm going to discuss about the rate of breathing. Rate of breathing. Children, when we sit still for some time, so measure your breath rate. While sitting, try to measure your breathing rate and the number of breaths per minute that you take while resting. Just note it down. Okay, and sometimes when we are doing the light exercise like walking for a minute and again measure the breathing rate. So this time you will find certain differences. Okay, when we are in resting, so that time the breathing rate is somewhat less as compared to when we are doing some light exercises. Get it? So there must be some differences, and these differences are perceptible. Now do some heavy exercise like running for 100 meter and measures your again the breathing rate. So this time what do you find? Yes, you find that the breathing rate is higher when we do the heavy exercises. Okay, so the rate of breathing is going to different as we are going to work. If we are not doing any work like in resting, so the rate of breathing is less. When we are doing the light exercises, that time it gets some increased. And when we are doing the heavy exercises, a heavy work, hard work, so that time this rate of breathing gets increases. Understood, children? Do you know that why there is a difference of this breathing rate? This is just because of the consumption of energy by our body. At the time of resting, energy consumed less, and as a result, the rate of breathing is less. And at the time of doing heavy exercise, our body need more energy. So that is why the rate of breathing increased to fulfill the yes requirement of energy. Alright, children. Now, as we have discussed about the differences between combustion and cellular respiration. So, just like that, now I'm going to discuss the differences between breathing and cellular respiration. As in the starting, I have told the process of respiration have two steps, have two parts. The first part is breathing, and second part is cellular respiration. So, just get it that what are the differences between these two steps of respiration. Get it, children? Differences between breathing and cellular respiration. And I will differentiate these two steps as these two parts of respiration on the basis of certain parameters. Alright, children? And the first parameter that I'm going to take is nature of process. So, on the basis of nature of the process, the breathing process, it is a physical process of exchange of gases. Okay, and in this process, no chemical reactions takes place. So, which type of process is breathing, children? It is a physical process. Okay, and no chemical reactions takes place. Get it? Now, in cellular respiration, it is not a physical process, it is a chemical process. And in this cellular respiration, what happens? A chemical reaction takes place in which the oxidation of food occurs. Alright, children? So, this is the chemical process. And in this chemical process, what happened? Oxidation of food. Alright, children. So this one is the first difference between breathing and cellular respiration. Breathing is a physical process, whereas cellular respiration is a chemical process. In breathing, no chemical reactions takes place, whereas in cellular respiration, a chemical reaction takes place in which oxidation of food occurs. Get it? Now come to the second difference. And the parameter for second difference is place. Alright, children? So, on the basis of the place, the process of breathing takes place outside the cells. Where the process of breathing occurs? Outside the cells. Whereas the cellular respiration, it takes place within the cells. Get it, children? So on the basis of place, what is the difference between breathing and cellular respiration? The process of breathing takes place outside the cells, whereas the process of cellular respiration takes place within the cells. Now the third difference, on the basis of energy. And in the process of breathing, no release of energy, whereas in cellular respiration, there is release of energy. Alright, children? So these are the differences between breathing process and cellular respiration process. As the breathing is a physical process and no chemical reactions takes place, only the exchange of gases occurs here. Whereas in cellular respiration, it is a chemical process, and in this process, oxidation of food takes place. That breathing process takes place outside the cells, whereas the cellular respiration process takes place within the cells. And the energy in breathing process, there is no release of energy, and in cellular respiration process, there is release of energy. Get it? So I hope that you understood these differences between the process of breathing and the process of cellular respiration. Got it, children? Now, come to the next part, next topic of the chapter. And now I'm going to discuss about the types of respiration. Types of respiration. Children, we have studied about the respiration that takes place in the presence of oxygen, and this is called aerobic respiration. Which respiration? Aerobic respiration. Alright, children. So the respiration that takes place in the presence of oxygen is called aerobic respiration. And in this aerobic respiration, food in the form of glucose is oxidized. And after oxidation of the food, carbon dioxide and water forms. And also in this process, energy is released. Get it? So, in previous topic, we have discussed when the food gets oxidized, it forms the three products, that is carbon dioxide, water, and released energy. Okay, as here the process is going to occur in the presence of oxygen, so this type of respiration is known as aerobic respiration. And this aerobic respiration is carried out in almost all the plant and animals. Get it, children? Aerobic respiration takes place where? It carried out in almost all plants and animals. Get it? Now, some organisms, such as yeast and some bacteria, they can live without oxygen. And in their cells, glucose is broken into alcohol and carbon dioxide without using oxygen and give energy. Get it? So they are somewhat different from the other animals or other organisms, because here this respiration is not going to occur in the presence of oxygen. It's going to occur without oxygen. And as a result, what are formed? Yes, when glucose breaks, so it forms alcohol and carbon dioxide. Okay, and without using oxygen, and it produces the energy also. So the water is not going to form here, and this process is called anaerobic respiration. Understood, children, about anaerobic respiration? This is the type of reaction that takes place without oxygen, okay, in the cells. And in this type of respiration, glucose is broken into alcohol and carbon dioxide and give the energy. Get it? And the amount of energy which is given out in anaerobic respiration is much less than the aerobic respiration. So we can say that as the aerobic respiration takes place in the presence of oxygen, so more amount of oxygen energy produced, whereas anaerobic respiration takes place in the absence of oxygen, so less amount of energy produced. Get it? And the second difference is there in aerobic respiration, when the glucose molecules reacts with oxygen, so it forms carbon dioxide, water and release energy. Whereas in anaerobic respiration, the glucose molecules breaks in the absence of oxygen and forms alcohol and carbon dioxide and produce energy. But this energy is, yes, very less. The amount of this energy is very less as compared to the energy produced in aerobic respiration. Understood, children? So, here the yeast, which is an unicellular organism, this organism respires anaerobically. Anaerobically means that in the absence of oxygen, and it produces the alcohol. Get it? And therefore, yeast is used to make beer and wine. Get it, children? So, which organism is used to make the beer and wine? Yeast. And this is an unicellular organism. And which kind type of respiration takes place here? Anaerobic respiration. Get it? So, I hope that you understood these topics which we have discussed today. Thank you and have a nice day, children.